Hey, y'all, welcome back to another episode of From the East Side, TexAgs student podcast for students, by students. I'm Luke Evangelist, she's Kay Nagley, and we've got something that'll really rev up your engines today. And I'm not talking about Bobby Petrino's offense.
Yeah, so in this episode, we had Aggie Volleyball's Logan Lednicky join, talking a little bit about Pack and Reed and what they got going on, cooking up 5-0 over there for Aggie Volleyball, as well as Cavon talking some more Aggie Volleyball, Kylie Stoner talking some soccer, and then we had a very royal guest, the Queen of Aggieland.
Yeah, life's not rough when you're the Queen of Aggieland.
Check it out. Howdy, Ags. Today we are sitting down with a very, very, very special guest. We have the Queen of Aggieland here. Miss Reveille is joining us, and her handler, Teddy Neal. Teddy, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problems.
So first off, just give us a little bit of your backstory, how you got to A&M, where you're from, and then ultimately how you became Reveille's handler.
So I'm from Baytown, Texas,
Okay.
which is outside of Houston. I came to A&M, so my mom was an Aggie. So she was in the Corps, and I wasn't really wanting to go to A&M. And then towards the end of my senior year, she wanted me to look into the Corps Cadets and just see, it's like, I think you'll like it. And I did spend the night and kind of just like, was like, okay, this is what I want to do, and then showed up. I did spend the night with Company E2, which is the mascot company, and that was kind of just like, if I'm joining the Corps, I want it to be E2 and nothing else. And becoming Reveille's handler just kind of fell into place. Like, it wasn't anything planned. I was actually kind of surprised that I got it. It's kind of been like a surreal moment for me.
Yeah,
Definitely the best job I've ever had. So
that's awesome. Take us through what a normal day looks like with you and Reveille.
So normal day, wake up about 5:20 to get ready for morning formation. We get outside, we raise the flag, so we do all that normal stuff. And after that, I generally take her back up to the dorms if we're doing a workout, and then I go do the workout. She gets another hour of sleep, and then we come back. I pick her up to go to Duncan, which is where the Corps eats breakfast and dinner. And we get back from that. She helps me get ready for class. If it's not too far of a walk, or if it's not like a math class or something that we don't generally want to get let out of, then I'll bring her. Or if it's something I do want to get let out of, then on the off chance that she does bark, I'll bring her. Go to class, and basically from about 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., we kind of can do whatever we want.
Oh,
yeah, she's getting up.
She's getting antsy.
Come on, sit.
Oh, look at her.
So about from 8 to 6 p.m., we can do pretty much whatever we want. At 6, we go to evening formation, which is kind of the reverse of morning formation, and we just march into Duncan, get dinner. I generally do most of my studying in the evening, so she helps me with that, and then we go to bed, or go to sleep, and it's kind of rinse, rinse, repeat.
It's a day with Reveille. Awesome.
Reveille.
So it hasn't been very long, but what would you say your favorite moment with her has been so far?
Favorite moment, definitely running out on Kylie Field.
Yeah.
That was a surreal moment. I felt like 5-year-old me watching Aggie football would have never imagined.
Yeah,
that was
you being there.
Me being there.
That's awesome.
That's really awesome. So how is it different going from being just a regular student, being in the Corps, you've got your normal duties, to now you're taking care of the Queen of Aggieland?
It wasn't like too much of a big transition. She's pretty easy, and they help you. So I got her in April, and you have about a month of, it's like kind of like a slow start, and so it really gives you a chance to, like, okay, this is how you balance your schedule. This is how you incorporate her. And so right now it's not too stressful. Like, it's kind of just, I have schoolwork, and then some days I have rev events, and if I can't make the rev event, then I know I have people that can back me up.
Yeah.
It's cool. So Reveille 10, obviously. So what is the training process like for her? What does she have to go through in order to, be just a big part of this A&M culture?
So most of the training is for me.
Okay.
So she already knows her stuff. So really the only thing that I practice with her is just leash training.
Okay.
So just walking. But she's already really good with that. we obviously practice tricks just to keep those fresh on her mind, but really everything that she does, she knows how to do perfectly, and it's all just me kind of – it's more she's teaching me how to do my job and not the other way around.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we saw that she lived with you over the summer. What was that like, and if you have any other pets, were they jealous at all?
Oh, yeah. So it was definitely, like, kind of really cool. It didn't really sink in till it happens. It was like running out on Kylie Field.
Yeah.
But having her home, obviously my mom really liked it, so she's an Aggie, so she was kind of in love with it. We do have a dog. Her name's Nikki. She's a corgi. Nikki did not like having Rev. So there was a lot of it never got, like, physical or anything like that, but there was definitely a lot of body language going on.
Yeah.
They didn't really interact with each other too well.
That's awesome. You said it briefly, your favorite moment was running out. If you could just kind of take us through that moments leading up to it, and then ultimately running out to 100,000 in Kyle.
Okay, so I'm actually there about an hour before the game starts, and I'm sitting in the yell leader locker room, and it's the first run out, so I'm like nervous, so I'm pacing, and I'm waiting, like, when the clock hit 17, that's when I walk out of the yell leader locker room to go to the tunnel, and I'm watching it tick down. This is like the longest 45 minutes of my life. And finally, my advisor comes in. His name's Gunnery Sergeant Parker. He walks me down, and he's walking me down to the tunnel. We round the corner, and he kind of just sits there with me, and he pats me on the shoulder and is like, go get him, killer. And it's like, all right, we got the flag girls, and we're just kind of waiting for the video to stop. The marching band, or the band walks out, and then they start playing. And it was kind of just like awestruck. Like, you walk out and the crowd just gets loud. And I'm just like looking around, It's
You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I actually got a second to sit on the goalpost. I don't know if y'all saw that. And that really gave me a chance to kind of like look around and just see where I was. That was
take it all in.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely, taking it all in. The actual running part of the run out, kind of like a fever dream. Don't really remember doing that.
Kind of black out a little bit.
You were moving, though.
I was like, yeah. So.
You got to run. You got to haul. That's all. That's funny.
Yeah. So what was your thoughts on, like, the new intro and then just overall A&M's performance on Saturday?
So with the intro, obviously, like, this is my first year doing it, so I don't know what it's like to do the, intro with how they did it years past. I do, like, I think it's pretty cool. It was kind of a shame the fireworks didn't go off. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see next game what it's really like. Yeah. But as far as the intro goes, I think it's a nice thing, though the boot line is kind of like tradition. So, but either way, they're both really good.
Yeah.
As far as the, how A&M did, I mean, I'm just glad we started out with the win.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just good to actually win our first game. So.
Yeah.
Wins are always good. We've seen it briefly on social media. Got to talk about Rev Force One.
Oh.
The new cart. So is that a everyday thing, or how did that come about?
So I don't exactly know how it came about because I wasn't her handler at the time when the process got started. But it's not an everyday thing. So if we're walking somewhere that's more than a mile and a half, then we try to get the cart.
Yeah.
It's completely street legal, so it can go on like all the roads. So.
Just see Rev Force One cruising around College Station. That's cool.
And it is as nice as it looks. It's got Bluetooth stereo, AC. I mean, it's decked out. So
that's cool.
So you talked about a little bit earlier taking Reveille to class. I gotta ask, do you have a recording of Reveille's bark on your phone so you can play it in class if you ever want to leave?
No, so I don't have a recording of her bark. She doesn't bark too often. Okay. That's what, like, people kind of don't realize that. She's very quiet, and it's very certain things that set her off. So, I mean, if I wanted to get her to bark right now, I really couldn't. I mean, I have to, like, do a lot of tricks, pull out all the stops to get her to do it.
That's all. So we saw Reveille's birthday is this week. How old is she turning? When is her birthday? And then what is that day like for you?
So she's turning 4 on September 5th, so this Tuesday. And we're actually celebrating it today.
Okay.
So
awesome.
I go from here, and then we'll get her ready for her birthday party.
Oh, gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's kind of with the outfit. That's kind of just we get Rev 9. we pull Rev 9 out of the Stevenson Center, and they kind of have their play date and get to interact. Yeah.
That's so cute.
Take a couple pictures, and it's really just kind of like a normal birthday party. But it's private. It's just with the outfit. So.
Awesome.
That's awesome. So we got some rapid fire questions for you. First off, has Reveille ever barked to get you out of class?
Yes, she has last week.
Nice.
It was really nice.
How often is she groomed?
She's groomed every day.
Okay.
Wow.
So I brush her every day, but
Wow. So what's her favorite snack?
Favorite snack? Definitely milk bones.
Nice.
Shout out milk bones.
Favorite toy to play with?
She has a stuffed squirrel that she likes. Though if you saw it on TV, her new favorite thing is kind of the Bucky.
The
Bucky. Yeah, the Bucky's her new favorite.
Yep.
What's her favorite place to sleep?
Favorite place to sleep? Definitely her bed. Though sometimes she'll alternate to mine, so she switches back and forth.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Has she kicked you out of bed yet?
Yes, she has. First night I had her.
Oh, man.
Would she rather have a play date or like a nap time?
Her probably nap time. Though if it's with Rev 9, definitely play date. So.
Does she prefer walking on campus or taking Rev Force 1?
I think now it's Rev Force 1.
Yeah?
She's, got the cart, can't go back now, you know?
And then do you have any tricks that you can show us?
I do. Might take some.
Have treats.
If I have treats.
Maybe we can get that for a social video later. But overall, thank you so much for joining us. And we're so glad that she is able. She looks like she's having the time of her life, just chilling. That is Teddy, Neal, and Miss Reveille. Luke, you like my new crown?
Take that off, Kay. It's only for a real queen.
Speaking of some queens on the court, let's check out Aggie Volleyball. Howdy, y'all. We are sitting down here with Aggie Volleyball's Logan Lednicky. Logan, thank you, first of all, so much for joining us today. I know we're super excited to have you. Yeah. Volleyball, 5-0. Heck of a start.
Yeah, incredible.
If you could, obviously we want to talk about this year, but if you could just take us a little back to last year and your decision to come to A&M and then last year's season overall.
Yeah, so coming in, I mean, I'm a fourth-generation Ag, so I always kind of knew I wanted to come here. My dad played football here, so grew up coming to all the games and that sort of thing. So coming here last fall was just sort of surreal. Like, even just being a part of the program was just insane. And so last year had a pretty good season, but going into this one, I think it's going to be, like, super special just for the whole team. Like, it's going to be really awesome. I mean, 5-0 start. As of now, that's pretty awesome, but going into SEC, I think it's going to be a lot tougher. The competition's just going to keep getting harder and harder. So, great start, but kind of means nothing if we don't build on it from here. So, yeah. Yeah,
going off that 5-0 start, take us through your overall thoughts on the season so far, a couple of games y'all have played, maybe some of your favorite moments from them so far.
Well, we just got back from Bowling Green, and we played Wright State, Loyola Chicago, and then Bowling Green, and they all had super close matches. I mean, Loyola beat Purdue. Purdue's in the top 10 in the country. So just sort of like matches like that all those teams have had. So going in, we were like, these teams like are not just going to let us walk in and win the match. So we went in super prepared, and we swept 2 of them and took the other one to 4. So really good weekend for us. I think it gave us a lot of confidence. Like, all right, like all the work we did put in the spring and in the summer and all the stuff Jamie and the staff has been teaching us is like really paying off. And we definitely all have talked about, like, this is an incredible difference from last year and just, like, the way that we play. So
early returns on Coach Morrison have obviously been great from our perspective. Just want to get you weren't recruited by him, but obviously he came in. What has your time with him been like?
Yeah, so I actually knew him back at home. He coached at my club from home. So we sort of had a relationship just also with USA Volleyball stuff. He helped me with that a little bit. So I always knew he was a great coach. When I heard, like, it was a possibility for him to come here, I almost fell over. I was just like, there's actually no way. Just with his, like, past. I mean, he's coached the Netherlands national team, USA national team, like, all these accolades. I was like, and he's going to come coach for Texas A&M. Like, just insane. So I was super excited, and I'm so excited that he's here. And just like you said, like, the returns that we've already seen is pretty cool.
Yeah. So, what do you think the biggest thing that this team has improved on from last year?
Gosh, there's so much. Like, I can name at least like one thing about everyone, but honestly, just like our team chemistry on the court and off the court, just like shows in our play. Like, just how close we all are has like increased our play, I would say. So
obviously, I mean, you talked about how you could progress in SEC play and what you think this team can eventually do, and building off that 5-0 start. What do you think this team's potential is this year?
Yeah, I mean, we set some goals for ourselves, like, going into the season, and, I mean, I think we can way exceed the goals that we have set, but the SEC is, in my opinion, like, one of the most across-the-board, like, high-level conferences in volleyball, like, high-level competition all the way across the board. And so I think that's, good for us, but also, like, we have to keep grinding, keep working hard, just because it's only going to get harder from here. So.
Yeah, so we were talking about it a little bit off camera, the Nebraska game. What an incredible environment. Sold out football stadium to support their volleyball team. What is the potential for this game to grow? Yeah,
I mean, in the U.S. today, like, volleyball is the number one, like, most growing girls sport. And so I think, with Jamie coming, we had our Baylor exhibition match, and there was twice as many students as there were probably all of our matches last year, which was awesome just to see. And it was, like, such a fun environment. I think one of the biggest things for Jamie is, like, he wants us to we're putting on a show. Like, it's the entertainment business. Like, we want the fans to enjoy our games. And so I think that's, like, what's been important for him and for us, just to, like, get people to get at the matches. And so I think we can make that happen at Kyle. Like, if we keep growing this audience at Reed, like, shoot, down the road, I think volleyball match at Kyle would be amazing.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Maybe before we talk about doing that at Reed or anything at Reed, y'all have been on the road quite a bit. What has been your favorite travel experience with this team so far this season?
Like I kind of touched on earlier, just, like, our team chemistry is so good. We're all super close, and it's just been so fun. Like, just playing, like, card games in the airport or at the hotel, or just, like, stupid conversations that we have off to the side. I think that's what makes, like, this experience so special and so fun. Like, just aside from the volleyball, like, Jamie talks about just relationships and, like, growing yourself as a human, and I think all of this combined is been really good for us. So.
Yeah, you've been on the road, but now it's time to get back to Reed. We love Pack Reed propaganda.
Yes, so yes, of course.
How much does a packed Reed influence Aggie volleyball?
So much. Like, with, like, a dead gym and all these little preseason tournaments, the gyms are pretty quiet just because, like, a lot of times the home team's not playing. So we have to talk about, like, creating your own energy. But I think, like, when we get back in Reed, obviously we create our own energy on the court. Like, we're the ones out there, but we bounce off of y'all and, like, the 12th man so much, and it just makes it so much fun just seeing, like, everyone enjoying and watching and, like, cheering, and it's just awesome. So, yeah.
We have a couple rapid fire questions we want to get into you.
All
so
right.
First one, can you give us your best Jamie Morrison impression?
Oh, gosh.
Does he have any nuances or sayings that you've already picked up on?
He has so many, like, little things. He's always like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think. He's so quirky.
Yeah.
He has, like, so many things.
That's funny.
What's your favorite pregame meal?
Oh, gosh. Lately we've been having Ronin. Have y'all ever had Ronin?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's like a farm to table in Bryan, and it's, like, so delicious.
Okay.
It's so good.
What's good there? Or, like, what do you get?
For us, like, we just get, like, chicken, salmon, pasta, and then some, like, fruit and rice. It's to die for. Y'all should try it.
Yeah, okay. We have to. Pregame hype song.
Oh, gosh. We have, like, a little pregame routine in the locker room with, like, some different traditions and stuff. So I got to keep that one a secret because no one knows about it. But we have one pregame song. All my girls know what we're talking about. But, yeah.
Okay.
Who's your funniest teammate?
Oh, gosh. I think everyone's hilarious. I got to say Ital. Ital is the most, like, quick-witted, like, funny person. No matter what she says, like, whatever comes out of her mouth, I will probably laugh at. So, yeah, shout out Ital.
Game you are most looking forward to this season?
Gosh, I don't know.
All of them?
All of them. I loved Tennessee at home last year. That was, like, an intense 5-set match. And, like, Tennessee's a solid, like, competitive team. I'm excited to play Florida. They're always good, and I think it'll be a good match.
Awesome.
So.
And what's your volleyball ick?
Gosh, I have a lot of those too. In my opinion, black knee pads and shoes. That used to be a thing when we were 14, but now, like, that's a no-go for me. Or, like, Sorry, Biana, I know you do this, but when you pull your socks up and you like tuck it in under your knee pads, don't do that, please. It's so terrible. Awful. No.
That's funny. Well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
in today. I know me and Luke really wanted to talk about Pack and Reed and making sure
Yeah.
we get Reed rowdy for a Aggie volleyball
Yes.
match this upcoming Thursday. So
Yeah.
thanks for being
Pack
on.
Reed propaganda.
Luke, it's your favorite time of the year.
Pack Reed propaganda is back.
We have 3 matches this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Aggie Invitational. I'll see all of y'all there.
Hey, y'all, we're sitting down here with Kennedy Cavon, our student volleyball reporter. The Aggies are sitting at 5-0 and are currently on their best start in 12 years. You've been watching A&M volleyball for a while. What's different about this team?
I think this team is, and no offense to Bird or the Corbellis, I think this team is very well coached. I think well-rounded coaching is kind of what is setting this team apart from others. I think the last couple of seasons we've either focused, or they have either focused on defense rather than offense, or offense rather than defense. So I think having it all come together into one has really helped this team kind of take the next step forward.
Got to sit down with Logan Lednicky. She was a great interview and obviously a leader of the Aggies.
Yes.
What has she meant to this team, obviously last year and then now this year,
Yeah.
leading the way?
So Logan came in last year and really just like set herself apart immediately. I mean, watching from the very first couple of games, like you can tell that she was going to be something special. And I mean, she is really, as a sophomore too, has stepped out as a leader, which you don't see often. And this is a younger team, but you have veterans like Lauren Hogan on the back row, but Logan has really stepped up and kind of taken that role. So she's important in that aspect, but also in the aspect of offensive production. She was one of the leading scorers next to Caroline Muth last year, and it's looking like it's going to be like that this year too. But her and Caroline are now complemented by fantastic middle blockers and also another outside, like who can kind of keep up with them. So Logan is doing a lot for the program, but like I think it's only really up from where she is right now.
Yeah, so we haven't gotten your thoughts on it yet. Nebraska's 90,000 person attendance game at their football stadium. Does A&M have the capability to do something like that?
First of all, I think that Nebraska selling out a football stadium is just incredible for not only volleyball but just women's sports overall. I think I'm gonna kind of go off of what Coach Morrison said about it, of like, we're not there quite yet. We couldn't sell it out tomorrow, but give this program a couple of years and kind of those building blocks to get up to the point where we can sell out Kyle Field, 102,000 people. I think it's possible. I mean, I think it would be awesome and amazing for not only the university but also volleyball, just women's sports as a whole. But I don't think we're there quite yet. Give us a few years.
Back in Reed Arena for the A&M Invitational this weekend. How much do you think a home court advantage like Reed gives the Aggies an edge?
Well, I think last year the home court advantage was nothing, just because it was like we were at a visitor's gym. We didn't have many students there from the games that I covered, every single game. But it just really wasn't, like last year it was nothing. I think this year the student body is starting to catch wind of what's going on over at Reed Arena, what these girls are capable of doing and what they've already done. I mean, like you said at the beginning, best start since 2011. It's insane. It's exciting. So I think this year, I'm hoping on this year at this tournament on Thursday that these girls will have a large turnout. I really, really hope that that's going to happen. And I think that Reed Arena, we saw it during basketball season. I think
Can get loud.
it can get
rowdy.
loud. It can get rowdy. And I hope that that's what it turns out to be for volleyball.
Yeah, we want to see it too. Big fans of Pack Reed propaganda.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us, Kennedy. Y'all know what to do. Come out and support the Aggies this week and weekend at the Aggie Invitational Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
If y'all aren't going to pack Reed Arena this Thursday, make sure you pack Ellis Field.
Hey, y'all, we're sitting down here with Kylie Stoner, our student soccer reporter. Kylie, the Aggies defeated Tulsa before ultimately falling to TCU last weekend. Take us through both of those games.
Yeah, so with the Tulsa game, I mean, Kenna Caldwell scores from the free kick. That was pretty cool. And then Carissa Beckman scores again off of what began with a free kick. So that was really good for them. They have now won all five games against Tulsa, the Aggies have, and then travel to TCU and fall in the 87th minute, something Aggies aren't really surprised about. They've been having issues getting scored on, losing the game in the final few minutes of the game. So I think that it's a lack of communication for sure that's going on with them.
So record 1-3-1 now. I mean, ultimately not the way you want to start your season, of course. Just from your perspective, how do you think this team has responded to adversity so far? And then how do you think they're going to use that as motivation moving forward?
I feel like they haven't responded the best to it.
Okay.
Because they won 3-1, and they've only won against Tulsa, which isn't the best team, so you should win against Tulsa.
Yeah.
Baylor should have gotten that win. TCU, more understandable, but getting that late goal that you've expected or you're anticipating to happen at this point. I think they're having a lack of communication for sure, a lack of chemistry on the field. You can tell it's very choppy. And I think they could do better to respond to how their season is going for sure.
Yeah, so SEC play is a little bit over a month away. What do you need to see in the next month that's going to make you feel better about a tough conference slate coming up?
I would say definitely better communication. I would say a lot of a lot of the goals in the games scored on A&M have been from a lack of communication. A defender not knowing they were supposed to be on that person because a midfielder moved in and it was a whole chaotic thing, and then all of a sudden Kenna's put in a tough spot.
Back at Ellis on Thursday, Grambling State, you were saying before, only played them once before and they have a 1-0 record. If you could just preview that for us a little bit, and then hopefully another win in the future.
Yes, so Aggies played Grambling in 2006, November of 2006. So they haven't played them in a very long time. Was that 17 years? Grambling doesn't have the best record in comparison. They don't play as intensive teams as A&M plays. I would anticipate a win for A&M. A&M played them at home at Ellis and won 5-0 in 2006. So I would assume similar scoreline. I would hope for them at least.
Yeah, hopefully. So thanks so much for sitting down with us, Kylie. Make sure y'all come out to Ellis on Thursday to watch the Aggies beat the hell out of Grambling State. That game's at 7 o'clock.
Luke, be honest with me. You going to Miami for the football game or just to meet Alex Earl?
Wait, there's a football game?
Ignore what he's saying. Let's go have the Ags beat the hell out of Miami this week.
Thanks for tuning in from the East Side.